This is the Weekly Growl, real talk for a real world. From beard care to brain care, caffeine to confidence, Bayou and Nicholas Z serve it up unfiltered every week. Grab your mug, let's growl.
Welcome everybody to another week, another episode of the Weekly Growl. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, Nicholas Z could not make it in here tonight. So my trusty sidekick and companion, Mr. BGG Dagan.
Yay!
Okay, now, folks, we have a real treat for you guys tonight. I had to pull a few strings and, call in some favors, but we have a man who needs no introduction because he is already larger than life. But we have tonight with us live and direct from all the way in Utah, Mr. Tyson Allred, also known as Mr. Copper Johns. And yay, and here we go with Tyson.
Hey, how you guys doing? I was wondering where Nicholas was.
All right, so Tyson, as you know, I invited you here because we like to talk about a whole lot of things. But one of the main tenets is about mental health, and from what I understand, not what I understand, what I know, you are taking an active role in the online community to create a larger community. And you are a big proponent of mental health. So we wanted to find out what you're doing, man. What kind of stuff you're doing and what you're working on. So without further ado, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. So first, you guys will notice I'm in a car. That's because I'm getting trained on how to be I don't even know what they're called right now. I'm having a brain fart, but basically leading a discussion of group of men in their mental wellness journey. So it's called I Love You, Bro. They have 7 locations right now in the state of Utah, and it's where only men are, and we can come in a safe place and talk about our wins, talk about our losses, talk about things that we're struggling with in a safe environment. And so I'm learning how to do that. I've already gone through the suicide prevention, and I have a couple more classes to go through. And then come next month on the 8th, which is a Monday, I will start leading my own group of men. And I'm looking. So I've been going through this for a while, and it's deep. There's some people that are really hurting, and sometimes it's hard to hear. But I'm grateful that I'm able to do this. And then so that's why I'm in a car, because that starts in this building right here. And if anyone's talking, I can't see the chat at all, so I apologize. Oops. But yeah, so men's mental health has been extremely important to me ever since I started my own journey. I will not get into the details of what caused me, but needless to say that there were some family members in my life that needed help, and they were in the hospital and stuff like that. And as they were getting help, we did group therapy, family therapy, and I realized that I have some hidden things in my life that I needed to take care of that were causing some maybe distraught that that wasn't fair to my family or anything like that. And so I started doing therapy for the past 3 years, and I've uncovered some things that trauma that I didn't even realize I had trauma. Like the first time I had my therapist talk, him and I talked. He asked me the very first question, and I answered it, and I'm like, but that's not a big deal. I told him, I'm like, that's not a big deal. That's not why I'm here. I'm here so that I can help my daughter and help my sons, and so that I can be the best dad. He's like, Tyson, that's it. That is the reason why you're here. He's like, that was your answer. That was the first thing that came to your mind. And I told him, I'm like, but that was like when I was 12. And he's like, that's why you're here. And I'm like, dang. And so that has caused me to be people pleasing and all this kind of stuff, and which is really hard when you own a business, just so you know. And
it's hard when you don't own a business.
I know. and so I've learned a lot, and as I'm doing this, the more I realize, and we started Dad Bods and Beers, the podcast, and it's a men's mental health podcast, and we have a lot of humor involved because we're just us. It's all ad libs, it's just us being us and having a conversation with some amazing people, and it's grown pretty fast and pretty strong to the point where like we just flew out to Florida to see Justin Danger Nunley and Mandatory Fun Day and I mean we've interviewed Zach from Shazam and Chuck and we're continuing doing this. We're going to be going on tour here shortly. That I just found out.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yes, and it's just all about us just wanting to connect and letting people know it's okay not to be okay. And that just because you feel like you're alone, you're not, and that you have a safe place to talk to us. And but it starts with you. So you're the only one that can take care of yourself. Like we're here to help you, we're here to battle with you, but you have to want to. You have to take care of yourself. And then I just came out with a book last week called A Father's Guide to Mental Health. Just as a new dad, any dad, any wives that want to know kind of what their husbands are going through, or significant others, or spouses, or whatnot. Um, this is what we go through, and this is what we've have to. And I feel like it's a really good. I'm a teacher. I teach, and so I feel like I made it as a workbook, kind of on accident, but it works really well for those who are really trying to better themselves and really bettering trying to help themselves so that they can work on themselves and continue to grow. And it hits every aspect of life. I have 13 men in there that all talk about different lives, their lives and what they went through, like Vinny. Everyone knows Vinny in this, I believe, and how he had a gun in his mouth and he was ready to die. And his daughter walked in on him right when he was about to pull the trigger. And that's in
Wow.
there. And we talk about like a doctor who misdiagnosed someone that really affected him. Or we talk about like Robert when he went to prison and jail because he was addicted to drugs and lost his wife for a second. Like she left him and it's like there's different variations of things and talk about how to get connection because connection is so important. Like like your spouse, your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is in your life, you can't share everything with. You just can't. Not because we physically can't, but we don't want to put that burden on them. We feel like we're a burden. And so that's why I go to places like I Love You, Bro. And that's why I'm doing this is so that there is a safe place. There is that connection where we all can go and just let it all out and know that you're not alone and get advice from guys who may have gone through it. Like this last time, I was the only guy there that hadn't gone through divorce. And
Wow.
and and they were all one guy was just got handed papers a couple nights before. And so I was just sitting there listening and just like feeling for every one of these guys because I have empathy, but I've never gone through it. And it's just kind of like those experiences where you're just like, "Oof, I wish I could do something, but because of groups like this, you can get help." And so it's just I'm a huge proponent of it. That's why I mean Copper John started because of be proud of who you are. It's because of me, because I started growing a beard and then I realized I was a lot more happy with myself and my physical appearance because I had a beard. And that's why our motto from day one is be proud of who you are, is because it's important that you're confident. It's important that you're happy with who you are. And so long story short, mental health is kind of important to me.
Well, I think it's a topic that we don't discuss. We only discuss it for the most part when we're in a good mood. But it's when we're down in the dumps. That's when we need to talk about it. And there has become so much stigma to it. It's like,
Well, I talked
oh,
to so Justin Danger Nunley, he was on our podcast and it's not out yet, but in it he talks about he's like after high school when he joined the military, he would get home and he would just go to bed and stare at the ceiling. And he's like, I don't know why I keep doing this. Like, what's going on? And finally, someone said, well, you have depression. That's what. And he's like, what's depression? And as I think a lot of the times we don't know what we don't know. And so that's why I'm grateful for things like this, where where it's like we're getting educated to say, hey, what I'm feeling, this isn't how you're supposed to feel. You know what I mean? And it's like I can be happy. I can have peace in my life because I always like to say that is like happiness, sadness, angry, despair. All those emotions are healthy. They're all emotions that we need to feel, no matter what. Like those are healthy emotions. It's being at peace with them and knowing that those emotions are there because they love us. Like anxiety is there because it's trying to protect us. So what is that anxiety trying to tell you so that you can protect yourself without feeling like that? And so it's just like just because you're sad doesn't mean you need a pill. Just understand why you're sad. Understand like, hey, it's there because it's protecting you, and embrace that feeling, and then figure it out. But sometimes, like me, like when I went to therapy, I'm still gonna therapy. I got to about a year and a half in, and he's like, Tyson, there's no reason why you should be feeling this way. You need medication. You're chemically imbalanced, and so I'm on medication. And it's just because sometimes it's just your bodies just don't want to play fun. They don't want to play with you. They just want to mess you up. But sometimes it's just like people will say they're having panic attacks. I'm like, no, you're not. You just didn't study for a test last night, and now you have to take the test, and so you're stressed. You know what I mean? And like it's like those like understand your emotions. I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, definitely, definitely, and yeah, those are all things that we need to we need a place. Men, not just men, everybody. We all need a place where
Everybody.
we can vent, and there's certain things that we can't talk about with our significant other. You got to have your own separate space from time to time, at least in my opinion, and we need an outlet. Everyone needs an outlet at some point or another. And
Do you know who my outlet is lately?
Who's that?
Melissa.
Melissa's a really, really great person.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I'm like she always reminds me of Tyson. No, don't listen. I will even delete this voice message. She really says that. She's like, what's going on? Because sometimes, like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, running a company and having 6 kids and having a full-time job and then having a podcast and then this, it's like, it weighs on you. It gets stressful, it gets sad and hard. And sometimes she can tell that I'm in a funk and she's like, okay, Tyson, let's talk. I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, Tyson, because I tell you the truth, I don't know how you do it, Tyson, because I work a full-time job. I do Lyft to make a little extra money on the side. I'm trying to do other content creation, do edits and stuff. I actually contacted some people to edit videos for them, and that's gonna be promising because they want me to do some things for them. So I'm like doing all this other stuff, and it's like so stressful, and I'm tired. I'm tired all the time, and so I don't know how you do it, Tyson. All the stuff you got.
Neither do I. but I left at 6 o'clock this morning, and I'll get home around 9:30, and I won't see my family, and it sucks. But when I'm home, and I make sure of that. But there's certain days of the week I just don't get to see you. But then on Saturdays, I'm there 100%, and we'll go hiking and we'll do these things that just where we get to connect. But there's days where it's just like I have to get this done. Like there are days where we have to make phone calls. Like with Logan and I, we've had to make, and Melissa alike. We've all had to make calls to the police to make sure they can do some wellness checks because people have said some things that are scary. That I'm like, okay, we need to check on you, and I think we've broken a few laws. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if we have or not. But where they contact dad bods, but they're Copper John's customers. So I'm like, okay, we're going to look at the database to see where they live and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But it's important. I'd rather be selfish, and I'd rather get in trouble than have that on my conscience that someone passed away because I wasn't able to get a hold of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be the same way. So.
Yeah, I'd rather break the law than lose anybody on my watch.
And I don't even know if that's against the law. I just feel like it might be.
Well, morally, it's not against the law because we do have obligations to each other.
I've had to call people outside the country like on the total other side of the world, their police stations. And they're like, "Wait, who are you?" And they're talking to me like, "I'm like, you just know him from what?" And they're like, "I'm like, no, dude, this is serious. I know what I'm talking about. You need to go check."
Hey, do what you got to do. I'd
Yeah,
much rather be labeled as a crazy person than
yeah,
be labeled as he's the guy who let so and so down.
it's
And
true.
nobody would say that about me, but I would know that. And
Yeah,
that in itself is more burden than I care to carry.
yeah. I've had a lot of. So on the podcast, we had Danny Bates. She really opened my eyes. Her husband died by suicide, and usually those who die by suicide, um, everyone always says, "Oh, it's so selfish of them. It's so selfish that they took their lives, that they did this to their families." I'm like, but those who are in that much despair think they're a burden on their family, that they're doing the most unselfish thing by taking them out of the equation. Like they hurt so bad that they think everyone else is hurting because of them, like they are hurting. And Danny explained all this kind of stuff. He's just like, be selfish, make them feel guilty because well, I don't care. She's like, you need to let them know that what they're doing is selfish, even though you love them. It's like she just opened my mind. I'm like, okay, okay. So it's just like because the after effects of someone dying um, in that manner is rough, and it's rough for
Oh,
everyone.
I
And
know.
so, I mean, I'm going I'm talking way too much. I apologize, but
No, that's
No,
good.
no. You are here
James,
because we wanted you to talk.
Yeah.
well, James Dixon is. You can look at him as Superman for real, number 4, and then REAL. James Superman for real. His name's James Dixon. He's a motivational speaker. He was born uh, without the use of his right leg, to the point where his parents gave him up. Like it's like, we don't want you. You're not going to be anything. All that kind of stuff.
That's
And
horrible.
so he lived with his grandma, and his grandma gave him hope. She's like, you can do whatever you want, and we're going to get this done. And they cut his leg off and gave him a prosthetic. And when that happened, he was able to kind of become anew. And then he got divorced, and basically his ex-wife was just talking crap and all this kind of stuff. It really messed him up. And um, he got to the point where he was so low that he contemplated it, and he got help. And then he decided, I want to help other people. And so if you listen to him talk, it's like one of the most powerful, most motivational people you ever meet. He is one of the nicest, truest people I know. But anyway, point being is he went out to help people, and he was talking to someone out of Indianapolis and said, "Okay," he was on the phone. He's like, he wanted to kill himself, and I'm like, "Okay, give me 24 hours. If you give me 24 hours, I'll hop on a plane from Salt Lake. I will be there tomorrow. Can you give me 24 hours? Can you promise me 24 hours?" And the guy promised him 24 hours. He flew out there, saw him, talked to him, and he was there with him for about a week. And at the end, he's like, "Hey, this guy's awesome. He's good. Like he's wonderful." And so he flew back home, and about 6 months later, this guy called, the same guy, and just saying, "Hey, thanks so much for everything. Hey, I have some gifts for you. I want to give you this, this, and this." And didn't think anything of it, and hung up. And then all of a sudden, he's like, he wasn't himself. He's giving things away because he doesn't want to be here. So here he called back, and he was talking to the person. He's like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And during FaceTime, he shot himself and died.
Oh,
Um,
God.
and no, the reason why I'm saying this is just we never know what's going on in people's heads. We never know. Like someone could be grumpy, someone could be so angry at this moment, but it's probably because they're going through something. And so it's just, I've learned that we just need to show love, show kindness, and just have empathy, because we don't know what's going on in someone's life. Like Dagan could be miserable right now and we wouldn't know. But you know what we can do? We can love Dagan. We can be kind to Dagan. We can let Dagan know that we have his back no matter what. That Dagan does have my phone number. You have my phone number. And I'm like, if you guys ever need me and you need to talk, I'm here and I will listen. Dagan's in Houston. or in Dallas, and I'm like, I've driven with the crazy guy. He drives
Yeah.
crazy, but he knows that if he really needs someone, I'm there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a proven track record. Like people will start to know that you're real, that you're there. And I think when that happens, when like Will and Dagan, you're doing this amazing episode, an amazing podcast or YouTube video, uh, as as you build wins, as you build these things, people will start to trust you, and they'll know that like I've been told lots of things that I will never share to anyone, and because of that, they trust me and they will call me if they're struggling. And sometimes it sucks because I'm tired and I don't want to, and I'm going through crap, but I would rather listen to you and hear your struggles than tomorrow wake up and you're not here.
Exactly.
Because it's real. 70%, oh no, 80% of all suicides in America are men.
Wow.
And it's not okay.
No,
Nope,
it's not.
nope.
And it's like I say at the end of every one of our streams, on the Hangout, be kind because everyone's fighting a battle that you'll never know about because they'll never say a word.
Yeah, we say they say we can speak 300 words a minute, but we think 2,000. So we will never know 100% of what someone's thinking.
Yep. And a simple
Sure.
smile, a hello. Sometimes that can be the making or breaking of another person.
Yeah. I've really had to learn how to hold in my sarcasm. I'm not joking because people don't know me and I'm a very sarcastic person. And I've had to learn just to bite my tongue because sometimes sarcasm can hurt. And
Not
so
you,
I've learned that.
Not you, Tyson. You're not sarcastic.
A little too much. Like with Logan, I'll be sarcastic. With some guys that I know, I'll be sarcastic. But with people I don't know, I tend not to be anymore. I used to be a lot.
Yeah.
But you live
I
and learn.
still am. I still am
Yeah.
sarcastic, but yeah, suicide is nothing to mess around with, to joke about. I know personally. I've my mother committed suicide when I was 30,
No,
and
I'm sorry, man.
I came home to find her. And yeah, okay, yeah, it's selfish of the other person. Well, they feel like it's rough on those that's left behind because for the person who commits suicide, it's easy for them thereafter. That they're resting. It's the people that you leave behind picking up the pieces that it can
But
wreck
see, when
a
you're
life.
in that mindset, that's the last thing you think about. Like you're in so much pain. Like think of the people who cut themselves. They're in so much pain emotionally that they would rather harm themselves with a knife and cut themselves and to feel that pain rather than what they're feeling. I mean, like they're in no emotional mindset to be able to understand what other people are thinking because they're hurting so bad. And
And and the
that's why I'm
biggest
grateful
problem
for.
with the biggest problem was it was a chemical imbalance. My mom was on meds and she got to feeling better and got off her meds. She figured she didn't need them anymore, and the pendulum swings back to the other side, and you're that much lower than you were before. And I know this from my own personal life that it doesn't matter how high you get up, you got to come down at some point.
Mhm.
When you do, chances are you come down a little lower and a little lower and a little lower and a little lower until finally you either check out or you say, okay, stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was taking some ADHD medication. And so with ADHD, it gives you that high, but my lows were so low after that I got off of them because I was like thinking bad things and I was like, this is not normal. And actually, Melissa's the one who said, Tyson, it's your medicine. That I didn't even think about it. Within a week of getting off it, I was back to being like, oh, okay, that was the medicine. But it's just like when you don't have someone that you can talk to or understand what you're going through, that sucks. because you just will continue doing that and going down the rabbit hole and spiraling. And that's why these men's groups and women's groups alike, there's tons of women's groups, but just like these groups that I go to and that I'm helping, they're so important.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. And yeah, you don't even have to go out and find a group. I like to call it the buddy system. If you're feeling a little low, just pick out a buddy. Pick me. I got time. Okay, Dagan doesn't have much time. Tyson, you don't have much time. But any of us don't have much time. But give us a call. Let us know, and if you don't hear from me in a few days, well, hey, give me a call. Make sure I'm doing okay, because, you know, sometimes we get lost. We get lost in our heads, and things can get a little scary if you stick around in your head too long.
It's so true.
Oh yeah, people close to me know that they can reach out to me anytime. It's like I got a best friend that I've known since 5th grade, so it's a long time to know somebody. It's like, we drop whatever we're doing for each other if we need to. That's how close we are. So he's like a brother to me. So
yeah, you got to have that, because it's kind of funny. I think it was this weekend, but it had something to do with, it was church related, and they said, gave the very valid statement. People say, "Oh, I don't have to go to church," but church doesn't necessarily apply. But it says it, and if any of you folks out there spiritual, if you read in the book of Genesis, God created man, yada yada yada, and He decided man should not be alone. Says it, first chapter, first book of the Bible. Man should not be alone. We were not created to be alone. And the more time we spend alone, the further we go down that rabbit hole, the more we get inside our heads. I know, because, hey man, I've locked myself away. I was a truck driver for 17 years. I've been on the road for 2 weeks where I stayed in the truck and would only get out to use the restroom, wouldn't talk to anybody, anything. And yeah, we are made for community. And even bad company is still company.
Well, and like I was saying, sometimes you're just in that funk, and the last thing you want to do is anything. And so that's when you have to make that commitment to yourself that I am going to go work out. I am going to go do this. I am going to reach out to 5 people today and just talk to them. I am going to call this person, or I am going to, like, sometimes it sounds crazy, maybe to you, but someone out there is going to listen to this and that they're like, just getting in the shower is a win.
Yes. You say it like it's nothing, but honest to God, in the last 6 months, there have been days where that was my achievement. I got up, I took a shower, and I got dressed. And yeah, it sounds like nothing to anybody else, but that was my achievement that day. And it took a lot to do that, because I didn't want. And, all of you folks who know me think, "Oh no, that's no way, Bayou. No, you no, man." Sometimes when I go low, I go very low, and you'll never know it.
Well, when you're at a hospital, at long-term care and stuff like that, it is required to get up at a certain time, get in the shower, brush your teeth, all this kind of stuff. Like it is a requirement, because they know how hard it can be.
Yeah. And some days, just like you said, getting up, taking a shower, getting dressed, and walk outside, even if it's only for a few seconds. Go see the sunlight.
Yeah.
See the sunlight. We need vitamin D. We get it mainly from the sun. Just a few minutes outside, and it does actually have a very large impact, I think, on mental health, because you can't stay in a ball forever.
No, just even going for a walk for 30 minutes, just like it's proven that it'll raise your dopamine levels and make you happier. Like, it's proven. It's not always fun, but and I get that, but it really does work, and it really does help. I can tell this week and last week I wasn't able to work out because how busy we were with flying to Florida for this event. Um, and I'll get to start again next or tomorrow. But I can tell in my how I feel about myself and how I feel about everything that I haven't worked out. I can tell.
Yeah.
And so it's weird how being outside, working on yourself really does affect you.
But
In a
just don't be
positive
too
way.
hard. Just don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
It's true, because you can be.
No,
It's Melissa,
man.
I've had a couple of conversations today because I've had a hard day, and so this is a good time to talk because I've had a hard day and I'm going in here and I'm going to express myself with these guys and with men I trust. I've done this for the past couple months, and yeah, it's that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the brotherhood because sometimes you can't do this with women. Luckily, I have an amazing wife, and I get someone that is like a sister to me with Melissa. Um, that I have someone like that. So I'm definitely blessed.
Oh, most definitely. And you know, just as well as Dagan knows, I'm no more than a phone call away.
You are. We have talked a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, and that goes for everybody in the audience as well. That I may not know you, may not know the road you're going down, but I've probably been down a very similar road. After a while, if you've been down enough roads, they all start to look very familiar.
Yeah. Well, that's why
just
I'm like my son. Like I tell him all the time. I'm like, he's in high school and he had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend. Keyword. And I'm like, buddy, you don't need a girlfriend in high school. Buddy, you don't need one. And I'm not trying to be mean to him. I'm like, you're just you need to work on just communication with all these people instead of just one person. And I'm like, and I'm like, you're just spending money on another man's wife. That's serious. That's what I say. And he's like, and then
that's an
now
excellent point.
yeah. And now he broke up with her, and it's just there's a lot of despair and all this kind of stuff and everything. And I'm like, you don't need to be feeling this right now. This is what I was trying to tell you. Like, these are adult feelings right now, and you're just a kid. And I'm like, I'm glad you're learning this, but this is your senior year. He's going into a senior year. I'm like, just go have fun.
Be a kid.
Just go have fun. I mean, I understand how fun it is to feel the love and have that love reciprocated. But you're a kid, man. Just go have fun. Go to dances and just go with all the girls. I'm like, go ask this girl. Then go ask this girl. I'm like, you don't have to just always be with the same one. And I'm like, and I'm just like, just have fun. And we'll see if he does that. But it's just like like you were saying, we have all this knowledge and we're trying to help them. Sometimes they have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, well, don't be like we were. We were in such a hurry to grow up, and it's now that we've grown up, we're like,
damn,
what was I thinking?
I know.
Well, I've done that with Copper Johns. I'm like even 2-3 years ago, I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah. And
should have done that.
BB says, if getting up and getting through your day is success for the day, celebrate your successes. Even the small ones are steps to greater things. And I couldn't agree with you more. Don't downplay your accomplishments, because my accomplishments are not your accomplishments. They're not Dagan's accomplishments. They're not Tyson's accomplishments. The only person we should be measuring ourselves against is the person we were yesterday.
So how do you do that? I have an idea, but I want to know your guys' things. How do you not judge yourself comparing to someone else? Like for me with Copper Johns, how do I not compare myself with another company? Or how do I not compare myself with another beard? Or how do I not compare myself with financial status with my neighbors or something like that? How do I not do that?
By focusing on yourself, not work. You put blinders on basically, and it's nice to look and appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate, man, Dagan's got a great collection of products. Believe you me. And if I were an envious person, I would covet I would covet all of his products. But that's Dagan, and he did that. I didn't do that. He did that.
Can I tell you what I think?
Go for it.
And this is just what I think. I was actually, again, I was telling Melissa this today. Because I was venting. I wasn't even venting. I was just telling her my mental, like who I am today. Like this is why I'm personally struggling. And it was weird because she always tells me to do this, and this is like the first time I've done it in a very long time. And I told her, I'm like, I need to take my own advice. I need to focus on what I have and being grateful for it. I need to focus on the things that I get to do. I need to focus on just my gratitude list and waking up and think, I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to do this rather than I don't have this. I don't get to do this. And so by the time we're done with all I'm grateful fors, there's no room for anything else. And then also write your goals at night. I've been reading a book called Gap versus Gain. I don't know if you've read that or not, but it's a lot of guys. There's you start here and you gain so much and you hit your goals, but you're so stuck on the gap, meaning like what is where you aren't instead of where you are and where you were, that you're so focused that you're get down. And so the thing is like write 3 goals that you want to achieve every night in the morning, at night. So in the morning, you know exactly what you want to achieve, and then just show gratitude throughout the day and write it down. Yes, she does tell me that. I'm not joking.
Yeah. And, a wise person once said, if you can't think of anything else to be thankful for, be thankful for all the things that you don't have that you really don't want.
It's true.
But
there's a lot of things. You're breathing. You have a job. You have a family. You have meals to eat. You have a house. There's so many things that we do have that it's okay that if your car's broken down, like I have a flat tire, I have to spend $800 on a tire. Okay, how am I going? Not on the tire, on 4 tires.
Okay.
just
Man,
like,
what are you driving?
2012 Toyota Highlander, but it's
with gold
wheels. It's just to that point. It's just like there's just things that it's just like if there's always something like, but at the same time, I have a car.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things you can be grateful for. Like I have friends called Dagan and Will, and I can talk to them whenever I feel like I need to. There's a lot of things to be grateful for.
Almost definitely.
I was going to say about what y'all talking about earlier that a lot of people like idolize certain people, and they'll say I don't idolize anybody.
Dagan, I know you idolize me. You tell me all the time.
I can respect somebody because I respect Tyson for all the major accomplishments he's done since the time since I've known him. Because man, I don't want to bring up I don't want to bring up a company. I think I was the first person that actually did a review for you, wasn't I?
Yeah, and I was your first one too.
Yeah. I think my first review for you. I think so. But anyway, yeah. I respect people, but I'm not going to idolize somebody. So because everybody puts their pants on, same way I do. So
I didn't think I was idolizing anyone. Then I met Zachary Levi from Shazam, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. And I thought I did a really good job on the podcast. And then and I listened to it, I'm like, oh, I stumbled a lot. But he said he was going to be on again and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm like, next time it'll be a lot different. But yeah, I agree with you, Dagan. There's some people that we might respect a little bit more, and I think that's what it was with him. I'm like, just because he got me through some dark days. I was extremely depressed, and Chuck. I know it sounds stupid, but watching Chuck over and over and over really hurts me.
The only thing really depresses me right now is my work. There's just certain things going at work that depress me. But
I get that.
Well, that's a whole nother story, man. I've talked a little bit about on I think even the live that we do on my channel. I think I'm right up, some things, but it's like the biggest thing. I've been there. Come October 25th will be my 25th year with the company, and I can't even get back into my former career, what I used to do, because of the current management. I have the background, but they don't want to put me back in there. So I don't.
But you have a job.
Yeah.
And then you also have 2 hands and you have a brain. This sounds weird. Don't take this weird. You can figure crap out. Like if it's something that doesn't make you happy, you can figure it out where you can do it by yourself. You can go to another company. There's what I've learned through Copper Johns, through the podcast, through interviewing hundreds of people, we can do what we want. Like, if you want to make something happen, you can do it. So, Dagan, if you want to be in your shipping, like you're shipping, right?
Yeah, but see, I used to do asset
Create your own
protection.
company. Do your own 3PL. I'm not joking. Figure like go create a plan. Go get some funding. Create a 3PL, and boom! Now you're your own boss. You're creating your own company. I mean, dead serious. Like, it's not scary like you think it would be.
Well, here's why I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually was thinking about doing my own private security type thing, a private eye type thing. But also, I've been really enjoying content creation and editing too. So, like I mentioned earlier,
so go to Fiverr. Go to Fiverr for right now.
Yeah.
Get your hours, get your proof, and get all people hiring. Get all these 5-star reviews, and then boom. I'm dead serious. Like, there are ways where you can be happy and not have to be stuck where you are, because you deserve happiness, you deserve peace, you deserve all of it. But again, like I said in the green room, it starts with you.
Yeah.
You have to be the guy who does it, and then all of us have your back.
Well, it's like when you did that video when you were actually jumping up and your shirts were changing each time.
Oh yeah, with our shirts, yeah.
Yeah, there was a few things I want to tell you to improve that, but I never got around to telling you. But
I'm not an editor.
I'm not. No, I don't know who does your editing, but
that's me. I do all my stuff.
Well, you have good writing too.
Yeah.
You got good writing, and Dagan, I don't know what you're complaining about. Anybody that has a mustache that looks like that, the world obviously falls at your feet.
Didn't I used to say you look like a grumpy cat?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
When you had your full beard on and your mustache was down, I'm like, you look like the grumpy cat.
And yes, my homie Michael Romeo. Imagine being stalked by Dagan, private eye. His mustache leads him where other detectives can't go.
But see, starting your own business and everything doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it's going to give you peace, and it's going to give you something that you haven't had before, and which is that freedom and stuff like that. So it's just what do you want to do, and how do you want? You only live once, and I've learned I've really gone to the point where I don't care what you think of me, and that took a lot. That took a lot to learn. But now, like, I'll do posts in public, and I'm like, I'll never see you again. Right? Okay. You think I'm an idiot? I am. You know what I mean?
Well, what you said, Tyson, it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but anything that is worthwhile is worth whatever.
And your peace is worth it. Having peace in your life is worth it.
Oh, yeah. I totally second that emotion, because that's become kind of my new, I don't want to say it's a mantra, but I keep trying to remind myself, I'm not going to lose my peace. I will not allow this to take away my peace. And I don't remember that when I get mad, but it's something to think about when I'm not mad.
It's kind of like what I said. Peace doesn't mean you're not sad. Peace does not mean that you're not angry. Peace does not mean that you're happy. Peace just means you're at peace with yourself. It doesn't mean bad things are going to happen or good things are going to happen, but it means that you're going to be able to handle it a lot better because you are at peace and you know everything's going to be okay. And it's crazy, but it's true. Like, that manifestation is and they're saying you're bringing it out to the world. No, you believe something, like you're going to be okay. You are going to be okay because you are thinking those thoughts and you're not bringing in that negativity in your life. It does work. I'm not good at it. I'm trying.
But the world can come crashing down around me. I'm going to keep my peace. And if the world crashes around me, well, hey, I'll have something to build. Got something to clean up. I'll have work to do.
And that just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort in changing your mind. Because a lot of us like to live in that panic mode. Like, if you don't feel like I remember at one point, someone gave me a Valium. A doctor gave me a Valium to settle down for a second. And I got anxious because I didn't feel anxious.
I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But I can relate. You know, I can
Because our
remember a time
bodies
in my life where, like, oh, I'm so mad. Why are you mad? Because I can't think of anything to be mad about.
it's crazy because your body you get to this point where this is who you are, and your body's so used to it that when you actually start to calm down and you start to have that peace, it doesn't want to be there because it knows only this. And so it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to get here where you're supposed to be. And
Yeah,
I'm still learning.
we all are.
Yeah.
We all are. Even though this is a dress rehearsal,
Yeah.
you know, we're still.
if you're not learning, you're not growing.
Oh, so true.
You're not living. You're not living, man.
Well, that's the whole point of, like, I have the therapy. Tomorrow at noon I have therapy, and I'll always say, dude, like, why do I have to keep asking you the same question? He's like, think of it as church. We don't go to church because you don't believe in God. Like, you know, you believe in God. That's why you go to church. He's like, but there's teachings that he tells you that you just have to get reminded. It's like you have to just continually get reminded because you're so used to being up here. And so you need to continue reminding that you need to be down here, and this is how you do it. It's because your body just fights it. It does not want this.
Yep. Because for so many years we were told 2 + 2 is 4, and now it's 5, and we just. But hey, Big Brother's watching. 2 + 2 is 5, Big Brother. Okay, a little 1984 reference. I read it recently, and it was kind of a fun book to read. But
yeah, that was one of those high school books you had to read.
Yep, and Jeffrey, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even if it's an oncoming freight train, there's light, buddy. There is light. Because, you know, be worried when there's not light, because that means somebody didn't pay the electric bill.
But that's what I talk about in the book too, is about dark humor and why we do it, because that's dark humor, and so why we have dark humor and stuff like that as a coping mechanism.
And okay, Ellie, that's I'm gonna write that down, Ellie, so I can.
I was just looking that up. I was just looking that up.
I'm gonna look that up. Proverbs 21:9, and yeah, and okay, so Tyson, you have a book. Is that what you wrote a book?
I did.
And why haven't I received my signed copy yet? No, I'm kidding.
Because it's only ebook right now. I got proof, and they messed up on the margins, and so I have to fix the margins, and then they're going to resend it. I just have to approve it before it's actually in print. And then Logan and I are going to do an audible. He's going to read it, and then we're going to have a miniature podcast after every chapter and talk about why I wanted this as a chapter.
Wow.
Section, and then we'll do the second. He'll read the second, and then we'll do a little podcast third, and it has 10 chapters plus a bonus chapter. And each chapter has a couple of guys that you may or may not know. I'm serious. That have gone through things, and then after they write there, I'm like 5 key takeaways to learn from what they went through. And then I have like a little worksheet at the end to help work on yourself. And it's just we go through so much in this life, and a lot of us, especially new dads, think we have to have it all together and that we can't talk. Like, we have to be the rock while everyone else is falling apart. Have you ever heard of play? So I'm in the theater. I haven't always loved theater, but I love theater now. And it's called Next to Normal. Have you guys heard of that show?
No.
Don't think so. But
Next to Normal is a very powerful show. If you ever go see it, I don't know if it's there. It's on Broadway anymore. It might be off Broadway now, but they play it throughout the country and you know, like local theaters and stuff like that. It's a family, and the family, there's a son, a daughter, husband, and wife, and throughout the whole play, the son or the dad and wife are fighting, and they're talking to the son and talking about how much they love the son. And the daughter is feeling left out and just wants to be seen. She feels invisible. And at the end of the show, I'm ruining it for everyone. The end of the show, the daughter goes to school. The wife leaves the husband. And then the dad goes into the room where the son lived and find out that the son died because he died by suicide. And so it shows you that everyone in their life got to mourn. But at the end, the dad finally got to mourn when everyone else left. And to me, that's just so powerful because that's what we're trained. Everyone else can mourn but us, because we have to be the rock. We have to be the people who show strength. And to me, I think it's just the opposite. I think we need to mourn with those who are mourning, kind of what Christ said, and be there for those who are, and just basically just allow ourselves to feel that, because he wouldn't have lost his wife, he wouldn't have been estranged from his daughter if he was just mourning with them. But because
Yeah.
of our society, because of who we are, we don't think it's okay to show those emotions, that we have to be the rock. We have to be the pillar that says, hey, I'm going to work 80 hours a week just so that you're okay. Well, what about you? You're not okay. And so that's why I'm a huge proponent of just taking care of yourself. Like, I may work a lot, but I'm going to go do this. And I talk to you like right now. This is very therapeutic for me. And I talk to my wife, and I talk to Melissa, and I talk to Logan, and I talk to Aaron, our manager. Like, we do a lot of things, but it's just like, you can mourn, you can fight, you can have these emotions, and it is masculine. It is okay.
I agree. And a friend of mine years back, his dad kind of pseudo adopted me to be my surrogate dad. And he told me, he said, son, for years, I worked so hard trying to provide for the family and trying to take care of everybody. And my health started to fail. And it was failing badly. And then one day I realized if I didn't take care of myself, there was no way on God's green earth I could take care of anybody else. He said, if I don't teach you anything, remember, take care of yourself. Then you can take care of everybody else. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of anybody.
No, if you're miserable, like I said, there are days where I just want to sit on my bed and look at the ceiling. That's not being a good husband. That's not being a good dad. So what do I got to do? You got to take care of yourself so you can be there for them.
Exactly. Exactly. And not everybody has had the greatest role models in life. Like Mark says, never saw my dad cry, even at my grandmother's funeral. I thought it was odd. Yeah, I grew up in a generation where, after, I don't know what, 7, 8, 9 years old, boys just don't cry. Mm-hmm. And I had forgotten how to cry. And for so many years, I had all of this anger, which benefited me because the anger kept all the other emotions down. And then after my brain surgery and my illness, I discovered all of these emotions, and it was a total shock to my system because I didn't have that anger anymore to keep it pushed down. It's like, wow, I just didn't know what to do with myself. And
it'll come out.
Yeah, it's going to come out one way or another. Mm-hmm. You can do it willingly, or you can do, like I say, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Of course, I had to do it the hard way because, I'm not that bright sometimes. But
well, you'll see a lot of people will self-medicate, and they're not realizing they're self-medicating.
Yes.
And so it's just like there's a lot of things out there that, like mental health, I don't think there's a stigma to it anymore. And I don't think therapy is a stigma anymore. But at the same time, what I do think is people will say it's not for me because, I don't need it. And in my mind, I'm like, no, we all need it.
The people who protest the most about not needing it are the people who actually need it most, myself included. Because there's been times in my life, oh no, I don't need that. I already know that I'm crazy. I'm going to just keep my crazy to myself. And yeah, I actually medically, when they did all the brain scans and everything, they asked my wife, has your husband ever been diagnosed as being bipolar? She said, no, but now that you mention it, well, he has the total brain makeup of a bipolar person. Could it be? Yeah. And, some people can get by and get away. Other people can't. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I take Zoloft. I've been taking it for 15, 20 years now. And I can't tell the difference, but my wife can tell. If I miss 2 days of it, she says I'm a totally different person. In my mind, I still think I'm the same person, but I'm not.
Have you ever done ketamine?
No, I haven't.
So they actually have ketamine now treatments, and you can actually do it at home with therapy. And basically, it just opens up your mind and kind of like puts you in a somber state. And it's not like they don't give you enough where you get high. It's more you just get into that somber state, and it allows your brain to start thinking as they ask you questions, and you open up. Logan has done it, and he's a huge proponent on it, and it's really helped him to the point where he's been able to forgive himself over certain things because he's bipolar. And ketamine is really good for people who are bipolar because you do things and say things and you hear things and that are sometimes really hard to forget or hard to forgive yourself, and all of us have that. And so ketamine is a great medicine if you do it the right way, but just like every other drug.
Yeah, and I think honestly, we're all just a little bit bipolar.
There's some of us are nuts like me.
Yeah, I think if you were born before 1980, chances are, my kids tell me, "Oh, y'all need to stop drinking that Crystal Light. It's got red dye number 40 in it." I'm like, babes, if that's the worst of what's going through my body, I'm gonna live forever.
So true.
Oh yeah. I'm still sleeping in my crib that was painted with lead paint.
Yeah. I still drink out of a water hose every now and then. So
no, it's too hot. That's the only reason I don't drink out of the water hose, because the water comes out too hot.
But I kind of gotta go in just a second. Just remind me.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I was about to bid you farewell. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, Tyson. It has been very enlightening and very informative. And where can we? You said it's an ebook. Where can we find it? Can we find it
on Amazon? You can literally type in Tyson Allred, and it'll pop up.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let's not just support a good friend and a brother, but probably going to learn something from it.
I hope so. I'm
going to check it out. I'm going to check it out tonight. I encourage everyone else. Tyson, once again, we thank you for joining us. Go take care of your business because you've got important work to do. And thank you for the work that you're doing.
I appreciate it. And if you guys ever need me, I'm here.
Yes,
we appreciate that, brother. Take care, buddy.
Guys. See ya.
All righty. All right, folks.
I do want to mention too. Then go follow Dad, Boss, and Beard's podcast too, if you haven't already.
Yes, definitely. It's something definitely to check out. And let's see, man, we got a whole lot of comments in there. Yeah, the beard community brought us here, but that's not why we're here. We're all human beings, and we want to love and to be loved. Exactly, Jerry. I agree with that, Jeffrey. We're here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So if I smack you across the head, it's for a reason. No, I'm kidding. But we're here for each one of us has been placed in each other's lives. And someone used to tell me that I don't remember the full explanation, but there's three cases: a reason, a season, or a lifetime. We won't know what we are or what other people are until, it comes to the end, whether it be the reason, the season, or the lifetime. But we're all here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And some of us can be all three. And some people are all three to us. And yes, Mark, much love to you too, brother. And want to thank everybody, and I do mean everybody, for joining us tonight. It was been wonderful. Melissa, just letting you know, expect a message. We're going to have you on here too. Don't think you're going to sneak away with that.
That'd be cool.
Most definitely. And Ellie, thank you. Also, Ellie, I'm sorry. Tyson was talking at the time, but
howdy, partner.
I had to play your greeting. Well, thank you, folks, for joining in. We'll be back again next week. Same time, same channels. Hopefully, Nicholas will be feeling up to it. And if not, well, then I guess I'll have to get second fiddle over there. Best second fiddle I've ever known, though. And you guys need anything, holler at us, man. We're always no more than just a message or a phone call away, because we're all in this together. So let's stick together. And have a great night, everybody. And I'll see you